Perfect. Yes.
While it may be cold outside, things are getting toasty warm at Global Voice Broadcasting. Heat up your winter nights with the hottest topics, the hottest celebrities, and today's best music. It's why Global Voice Broadcasting is becoming your 24/7 home for the music and talk you want right now. Discover your favorite shows and music anytime at globalvoicebroadcasting.com.
Hello, world! It's a new year, which means new and live editions of Aim to Purpose, the radio show. We'll be sharing new ideas with new guests from around the world, revealing new truths with every new topic presented to you, the A2P universe. So tune in every Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here at Global Voice Broadcasting at gvbstudios.com/show/A2P. You can also check out all of our archive shows on YouTube by typing in Aim to Purpose Radio. A special thank you to all the loyal viewers that have been with us from the beginning, and a big welcome and thank you to all the new viewers plugging into the A2P universe. Your power lies within you, so let it loose. Once again, this is Ken and Wesley Mason, co-hosts of Aim to Purpose, the radio show.
Hello, world. How is everybody today? And Happy New Year. Welcome to 2016. And we've been on a little hiatus. A lot has happened since we've been gone, but we are happy to be back. And we're glad that you're joining us for our season premiere. And we have a great show for you today. As you can see, we had a new intro. We're trying something different. We may have another new intro next week, because what we're doing is just kind of feeling our way and see how it goes with 2016. But we have a great show. And as we did last season, we started off on a health note with Dr. Caldwell B. Esselstyn. This year, we're also going to start off on a health note because we like to keep you healthy. That's important. And we have a great guest today. We're going to talk about stronger than medicine. Our guest today is Miss Batista Gremaud. And I hope I said her name right. If not, she'll correct me, I'm sure.
Yes, you did. Yes.
But anyhow, welcome again to Aim to Purpose, the radio show. And I'm your host, Louise Hicks.
And I am your co-host, Kenan Mason. And I want to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone listening from around the world as we bring in a brand new year, 2016. Happy New Year to everyone listening and viewing Aim to Purpose, the radio show. And we want to welcome all the new listeners and viewers to Aim to Purpose, the radio show. We will do our best to give you the best radio possible. And with our guest here, Batista Gremaud, she will be talking about stronger than medicine fitness and finding balance.
Yes, and it's always important to find balance in our life. And since we are live around the globe, feel free to call in to our show at 1-323-522-5482 if you have any questions for Batista about your health. And we know health is really one of our most important products. And before we really get into the show and introduce our guests, we want to share a little information with you. When we left off last time, we had a great show. It was about the veterans because it was around Veterans Day, and we had a great show for you. And then we went on a hiatus. And since that time, I did an event, actually, Miss Natalie Randall of Black Business Women Rock had an event at the Pasadena Civic Center, and I was one of the guest speakers there. We had an entertainment speaker, Miss MC Light, along with our keynote speaker there was Miss Jewel Diamond Taylor, who will also be a guest on our show next week as she gets ready to move into celebrating her 30th anniversary here in Los Angeles. And we're looking forward to having Jewel on next week, and we'll be sharing with you a little bit more about her 30th anniversary event here in Los Angeles on January the 16th. And also, I had a bit of sad news, personal news. My mother passed away on December 12th at the age of 92, and that was bittersweet for us. But as you all know, it's something that is inevitable in all of our lives. And I just wanted to dedicate this show to my mom, Mary Lee Brooks Hicks, Arkansas. And I'd like to share a picture of her with you all, if I may.
There she is in all of her splendor and glory.
That's my mother, and Ken, as all of you know, unless you just joined the show, is my biological son. So you have something very unique here, a mother-son show, something that I don't think has ever been done in the history of broadcast. So I'm pleased to dedicate this show to my mom, who really, without her, I wouldn't be the woman that I am today, because at 92, you know, she must have had an awful lot of wisdom, and she did pass on that legacy that I will carry with me for years to come. So you want to say anything, Ken?
Yeah, well, before we go to our guest, I just want to update on some things that I've done over the holiday season. While people were partaking in all of the holiday festivities and eating all the holiday food, I chose to do something a lot different and go against the grain. And I did a 30-day juice smoothie fast, if you will. And I have some results here, which just kind of proves that when you eat real food, you get real results. As of October, because in the month of October, I spoke about Breast Cancer Awareness Month and some things that can be done to maintain health. As of October of 2015, I was at a staggering weight of 192 pounds. I'm not a big guy to begin with, but I do work out and I try to eat healthy or healthy as possible. But I did do, I kind of gradually kind of eased my way into this fasting process by doing some things between October, November, and December. But in the month of December, I totally eliminated eating solid food other than chewing on celery sticks, and did juice and smoothies of fruits, vegetables of all sorts that I like. And as of today, this morning, I am at a whopping 173 pounds and 23% body fat, which will come down even more, 33.5% body muscle. So it just proves that when you eat a certain diet, and it's not for everyone, but when you eat a certain way that the body can recognize as an energy source, your body will do for you what you do for it. And this just goes to show that this is a step in the right direction. And with our guest today, I'm pretty sure she'll be speaking on certain nutrition habits along with strength training techniques and things of that sort. So with that said, actually what we're going to do is skip this particular break since we listened to our little intro here, and we're going to go right into
hold on a sec before we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to share something with you before we go into introducing our guest, because out of my my part of the speaking engagement on December 5th with all these dynamic guests, I did my presentation about achieving rock solid success for 2016. And out of that came my slogan, which doesn't take the place of "Your power lies within you, let it loose now." It's just a slogan for 2016 that I want you guys to join me with. And that is set your goals, 2016, and let's go. Remember, GOALS? GO is part of goals. So I want you to set your goals and let's go 2016. And doing that, I want you to practice, what does this say? Believe.
Yes.
I want you to practice believing in you. because who else can you believe in if you don't believe in yourself? So let's practice belief and believing in yourself. And let's see what happens when we come back in 2017. If you've achieved those rock solid goals here. In order to have rock solid goals, you need what I wrote on this rock, my C's: courage, commitment, confidence, and also along with the P's, plan, prepare, and persistent. Okay? And now we're going to go right into introducing you to our dynamic guest so we can talk some more healthy news with you.
That's right. Batista Gremaud is a body design formula 7th degree master teacher in the Dr. Fitness USA protocol. Certified also in personal training, Batista's expertise in strength training includes structural realignment of the spine, getting rid of back pain without surgery, injury prevention, and post-rehabilitation of injuries. Batista has been teaching the Body Design Formula Protocol as an independent trainer at Gold's Gym Venice for the last 4 years. Batista is a certified fitness trainer and practitioner in 5 healing arts modalities. She is the author of How to Lose Weight and Look Good with Strength Training, Extreme Muscle Makeover, and Poster for Power, available on Amazon. She regularly writes for addiction and recovery magazines and online health platforms. She is currently writing her 4th book, Stronger Than Medicine: The Missing Link to Fitness Consciousness. And she's also the health ambassador for Olympia Awards 7 Arts of the World. So let's give a warm, aim to purpose New Year's welcome to our guest, Miss Batista Gremaud.
Hello, Batista.
Well, hello.
And welcome.
Thank
you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you coming into our studio. We love having guests into our studio because we can get to see your beautiful faces.
Yes.
Well, it's a real pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. And we're just going to share her book with you quickly here. And I have some little linings in here. But this is her book, and I love the design. Feminine Body Design, Empowering Fitness for Pain-Free Life. Now, who does not want to live a pain-free life? I mean, that's important. So what inspired you to write this book, first of all?
Well, first of all, I, as a dancer by profession for my whole life, I ended up with a lot of injuries. So I ended up just really suffering from a lot of pain, 30 years of back problems. By the time 8 years ago, I had a frozen shoulder, Achilles problem. So a pain-free life was not in my vocabulary.
Right.
Okay. And I was yearning for answers to reverse this condition. One of my other hobby or passion is the power of the mind. As you talked in your introduction, you were talking about belief and setting goals.
That's right.
And I'm a really big believer in this. I spent a lifetime studying those principles. And when I saw my body go downhill, basically, I realized that it didn't go along. It wasn't in harmony with my belief of being able to manifest things in my life. It didn't make sense. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so I made a real intention to find something in my life, to bring something into my life that would reverse those conditions that seemed like irreversible. You know, when you're in pain for 30 years, you get to a point where you believe that this is the way that you're going to finish your life.
A lot of people do feel that way.
Yeah. But the power of manifestation and the power of positive thinking and the power of believing, I manifested Dr. Fitness USA into my life. I know it sounds kind of funny, but he just walked into my life like the day after I made that intention. So for me, it was a sign.
Right.
Okay, because when I spoke to him about his principles and his system, I heard something that I had never heard before in my life. As an athlete, as a professional dancer, the things that I had heard in my life was no pain, no gain, always to push yourself to do more than you can.
Yeah.
You know, like push through, just the show must go on.
Yeah.
And everything that I heard from Dr. Fitness USA was opposite. So since I had prayed, if you like, or visualized something in my life, and then he showed up the next day, then for me it was a sign to really embrace those teachings, and I did.
And that's wonderful, because you mentioned Dr. Fitness, and we know Dr. Fitness is coming on our show too at the end of the month, and we're excited about that. We are really excited about that too, and you guys share a history.
Yes. So what happened is, when I started to become more familiar with those principles, I started recognizing and looking around me and seeing the behavior patterns that he was talking about in people and what leads people to become unhealthy. And I have a couple of friends that I saw those behaviors, and I became like worried for their health. And so I remember calling this particular friend of mine, which I talk about.
Yeah, you talk about this friend in the book, and I was in reading the book, and we're going to share a little clip with you too, because Batista really tells about her book the best, better than what I can tell about it, and that's why I put the little clip, and we're going to show you the clip. In fact, why don't we just show the clip now? And then we'll talk a little bit more about what I want her to share about this friend that really helped her to see more light. So let's show that clip on the Feminine Body Design book, the trailer clip.
Hey, hi, I'm Batista at drfitnessusa.com, and this is my brand new book. Feminine Body Design is written specifically for women's health, so that you can have the information that took me 7 years to research and learn the hard way, based on 40 years of being a professional dancer and making a lot of mistakes for my body. Had I had this information earlier in my life, I would have avoided a lot of injury and a lot of heartache and pain and injuries. So the book, even though it's small, is loaded with information that will change your life and the way you go about your fitness. It will make a tremendous difference. It is available on Amazon right now, and go and download it, buy it, and give me a 5-star reviews. It's going to help other people get the information they need to change their life. So go to FeminineBodyDesign.com or Google it on Amazon. You will find it easily. And if your mind can conceive it and your heart can believe it, then Dr. Fitness USA can achieve it.
Right, if your mind can conceive it and your heart can believe it,
Yes.
you got it. Voila. You can become healthy. And as I was saying, she talks about this person in the book called Emmy Lou. And I want, Batista, I want you to share a little bit about Emmy Lou, because in reading the book, and by the way, this is a #1 bestseller, her book. And in reading it, that story really inspired me. So share that story.
Yes. So I, like I said, when I realized and became more familiar with Dr. Fitness USA's philosophy, because it's not only the strength training system, it's the philosophy behind it, then I recognized that a few of my friends had those behavior patterns. And that particular friend of mine, which I'd known for like 30 years, a dancer friend of mine, specifically. And so I called her right away, and I introduced her to Dr. Fitness USA, and I was trying to explain to her how, you know, like a woman that stays in her intellectual mind will impede her immune system. And she was a yoga aficionado, and I understand that I'm not saying anything against yoga. It's just there are strength training. People that do yoga, they need to strength train too. And she the more I would talk to her, the more she would get mad.
Mm. Yeah.
And she would say, "What do you mean? I'm a strong woman." And I would say, just like Dr. Fitness USA teaches, yeah, but a strong woman intellectually, but look at your body. Your body is getting weaker and weaker. And I could see her getting weaker by the day. It's like her muscles would disappear. I mean, she just became
they were
very
deteriorating,
weak,
the muscles, huh?
Because, you know, even if you do yoga and aerobics, a lot of those activities, if you don't build muscle mass through strength training or specifically, then it's the body is not going to regenerate muscle mass by itself.
That's right.
That's
right.
And she would just shut the door and get mad, and the more I would talk about it, the more she would shut down. And then we had rehearsals, and we were around people, and people would ask me questions because I had made a miraculous transformation. You have to understand that after a few months of being on Dr. Fitness USA's program, all my injuries disappeared. Mm-hmm. I got my body back.
That's great.
And you know, when you have that, you want to share it with people.
Course,
you know what I
Of
mean?
course you do, because of the excitement, the joy, and how you feel. When you're feeling good, you want other people to feel good with you.
That's right.
Exactly,
That's
you
right.
know. So friends would see my enthusiasm and everything, and they would ask me questions during rehearsals. They would ask me about dieting. Like, I remember I had one friend that always had enormous problem with dieting, and she's going on this yo-yo diet that, you know, dancers.
Oh, yeah.
Dancers' life.
Yeah.
Right. And my friend Emmylou Harris would just shut me down and say, "Oh, yoga does that too. Yoga does that too." Yeah, you know. Anyway, it was on and on. So finally I took my distance a little more, and I didn't see her as much, and a couple of years ago she passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she
That's sad. Yeah, I
ended
read
up
that
with,
in the book, and it was sad.
It was very sad because, of course, we will never know whether or not she would still be alive had
Right.
We'd never know, right?
Right, you never know,
You'd
because
never
she
know.
chose not to even try something different, something new to enhance her body and her mind.
Exactly.
Because this is a mind enhancement as well as a body enhancement.
Yes. But I can tell you that much, is when I look at the people that have followed Dr. Fitness USA's philosophy and protocol, and they come all the way from the 80s, that we can see. And so now when I look at those people that years ago have embraced those teachings, and now they may be in their 60s, they look good, they're healthy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? While I see other people, you know, they're just, age just takes a toll on you. So I can't say what would have happened, but one thing is for sure, is it inspired me to actually write the book.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's like, it's not for who needs it, it's for who wants it.
Right.
Yeah. If you want it bad enough, believe me, like Dr. Fitness came into your life. If you want something bad enough, the intention is thrown out into the atmosphere now.
Exactly. And so if somebody wants real information and real solutions and the truth about how that works, you know, then at least the information is available in the book. Of course, you know, they can always call us too.
Of course.
But it's made available, and and again, it's for who wants it.
Right, because you have to want it, like what you guys are saying. Anything that you desire, you have to want it, and you have to work toward it. You just don't, it doesn't just voila and appear. You got to put in the effort. You got to put in the work. As E. Young Van Zant said, I put in my work
Yeah.
Beloveds.
You got to do your work.
So
You
you
get it.
gotta do your work.
Yes.
And being a dancer, professional dancer, and me watching these professional dancers on Dancing with the Stars and seeing some of them get hurt. Sometimes they have to go off the show because of injuries and so forth. And for you to come in contact with Dr. Fitness USA, who has worked with stars, because I read his story too. Can't wait to have him on the show. And you realize you have a totally different outlook on life, and your body, as you said, heals. And
Yes.
that's a good thing when you can heal from these injuries and you live to talk about it.
Yeah.
And inspire other people. That's the beauty of it.
Yes.
So
Plus, your story just goes to show you what can happen when you don't take those necessary steps. It could lead to worse ill health, or in her case, it could lead to death, which,
right.
we don't want to go that route earlier than, the universe is allowing us to. So when you do certain things or take necessary steps to make change,
Yes.
that's when those things happen.
Yes.
Greater things can happen. What are some misconceptions that you've come across when it comes to the fitness industry as a whole? We see conglomerates all throughout right here in Southern California that really don't stress strength training specifically. So what are some of the misconceptions that you've experienced when it comes to being in the gym, or what you've learned when it comes to strength training as a
Yes.
whole?
Well, okay, so there are some obvious that we encounter all the time. And
Yes.
one of them is like, I want a long, lean, sculpted body, and so then I'm going to do yoga.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know people that swear by it too.
So that's like almost the number one. Yoga has become so popular.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And, there's not to say that yoga has benefits, because it does.
Oh, absolutely.
But yoga uses certain muscle fibers that do not promote building muscle mass, because they are contraction and muscle fibers that promote endurance.
Right.
So, and also, so if you're young and you're in fairly good shape or whatever, then you're going to tone and strengthen the muscles for endurance. But as the body matures through the ages, we automatically lose muscle mass as of age 30.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God. As of age 30?
yes, so
That's young.
from 30 to 40, you won't notice it very much. From 40 to 50, you start noticing it. But 50 up, if you haven't done something specifically to rebuild the muscle mass, now you're going to have all kinds of problems.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then that's when you see it, and then that's when everybody all of a sudden wants to, try to correct it instead of doing things early in life.
Exactly.
Am I too aged to correct it? I will be 65 in exactly 2 months from today. So I'm flexing my muscles here.
Yeah. So that's the first one, So for those that love yoga, by all means, do yoga. Just include strength training. Then you'll have both. Also,
Right.
something to really keep into consideration is yoga involves a lot of stretching.
Yeah.
And too much stretching can also weaken the body. So, for example, if people, they have backaches or whatever, so they think, I'm going to go do yoga. Okay, now a little bit of stretching is good, especially if you're not doing anything and you're not stretching and whatever. But if you don't strength train specifically and only stretch, then you're going to weaken the body and you're going to end up with more pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the that one. Number one misconception. The second one.
Yeah, go
You
ahead.
want to hear one more?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
More, however many you
Please.
got. Give
Okay.
them to us.
These are the two biggest one. Okay.
Okay.
Another person wants to lose weight, and they're gonna do these aerobics activities.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna be for hours on the treadmill,
Oh gosh, don't even get me started on that.
and they think they're gonna lose weight. Okay. So first of all, there's one very important component to fitness is to muscle building, like we talked about, but also postural alignment.
Oh.
Okay?
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
when you realign the posture, now you're not only beginning to take care of muscular imbalances, which are one of the main cause of like injuries, like overuse injuries.
Yeah.
Okay, now if you fall off a tree or something, you can have injuries, but overuse injuries, right,
Yeah.
are mainly caused by muscular imbalances. So when you address your fitness, it's very important to take into consideration postural alignment, okay?
Yep.
So first of all, the people are going to go on their aerobic machines or treadmills or cycling and do all this. And what do you see them do?
Yeah, they're hunched over.
They are hunched.
That's right.
Okay, so no conception of any type of posture. Plus, they might build their legs and totally forget their upper body. This the muscle loss is going to continue to happen.
Especially in cycling or spin class is what they call it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the other thing is, when you do aerobic activity, you're going to use the calories while you're doing the activity, and that's it. However, when you strength train, you're going to burn the same amount of calories while you're doing the strength training. But then the muscles need to repair themselves, and you're going to continue to burn calories up to 72 hours afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
So now you have tripled your efficiency in your weight loss. But if you are strength training specifically and you're taking into consideration the posture, you are also using that time to correct your postural alignment.
Right.
And you're building muscle mass. So you see, there are irony
sense.
on what
Yeah.
people do.
Well, after
sense.
I've been in massage therapy for the last 15 years, and knowing how the musculoskeletal system works, you have to have that posture. The muscles have to be strong, especially in the back, because that's what holds us up.
Yes.
Holds us up, you know. So posture is something that we actually take for granted now, because again, everyone wants to slouch over. We do this, like you said, on the spin cycle classes. Everyone is in the hunchback position for at least 30 minutes. Yes. That takes a toll on your entire lumbar and your thoracic, and God forbid, your cervical spine, because you're at an angle that's not designed for us. We're supposed to be erect and upright. You know, so
you guys got me sitting up straight here now.
So yeah, I mean, and these are the kind of fundamental things that we just don't see until the back problems start to occur.
Yes.
Then we want to try to fix it with shots in the lower back, injections, pill popping, you name it. You know, speak on that. Surgeries.
Surgery,
Surgery
or chiropractors, which, talking about that, you know, I think chiropractic adjustment is valid. It's good.
Oh, yes.
But it cannot be efficient unless you rebuild the muscle to hold the adjustment. And
There
that's
you go.
one of the
There
things
you
that
go.
most chiropractors
Yes.
don't tell you. They don't
Yes.
send you to a specific system that will rebuild that muscle mass to hold the posture up.
That's right.
And you know, there's not too many people in the fitness industry that even know what to do to hold the posture,
That's right.
to correct the posture. So that's one of the things that is a specialty of Dr. Fitness USA that makes that system so powerful.
And being a fitness trainer myself, I know that a lot of personal trainers, they need personal trainers, because they have no clue about what you just explained about how the muscles are pretty much holding the posture in alignment. So strength training is paramount in a lot of instances, because what else is going to hold us up? When you don't use your muscles, they're going to atrophy.
Yes.
You know, so you have to build them, and they will continue to stay active well after you do the exercise,
Yes.
you know, because that's what we're designed to do.
And
Yes.
for those who don't know what that means, if you don't use your muscles, they're going to atrophy. What does that mean?
Well, they're gonna stop working.
Yeah.
They're gonna.
Yeah, atrophy state just means that if anything can atrophy if you don't use it after a certain period of time. The brain can atrophy if you don't use it. So
Just become stagnant. Nothing happens. Like if
Yes.
you keep your hands like this all the time, your hands
When people
will
are-
do this because
Right.
you won't be able to open your hand.
when people are bedridden for long periods of
Right.
time and they're just sitting in one position,
Right.
their entire physiology starts to change, and it will atrophy over
Yes.
time.
So that reminds me, and that is actually one of the inspiration for my next book, Stronger Than Medicine, if I could just say a word.
Yes, absolutely.
Because, and we're talking about posture, so
Right.
it's relevant to this conversation, is there is a saying in Chinese, I think, that says, water that flows does not rot. Okay?
That's right.
So we're talking about stagnation, and one of the important thing about posture is not only, the backaches and the problems that we could experience physically, but also the way the energies are going to flow to the brain.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
Because if you correct postural alignment in a certain way, then you are allowing the energies to flow to the brain and to regenerate neurons in the brain.
That's
Now,
right.
there is research that has been done about the power of exercise for the brain, and they
Yes.
even did some research, and they found that exercise promotes the regeneration of new neurons in the brain.
Yes, it does.
Wow.
Yes.
So when you take that research, okay, about general exercise, results of exercise, and you take the research about postural alignment and you combine it, and you take the research about the benefits of strength training,
Right.
you take all those researches and you combine them together. This is what Dr. Fitness USA's program does. He takes all these components, put them together into a system. Then we can really begin to understand the value and the power of such system for mental health and addiction recovery. Okay, because we've had a great amount of success this year, 2000.
Got to get used to that.
Got to get used to that. Last year with addiction recovery, and I've written several articles on this topic, and I've done my research, okay, because that is the topic of my next book. I think that is so important to make this information available.
It is.
Because, in addiction recovery, there is a 95 to 97% failure rate in treatment. It's huge.
Yes. And we've talked about it many times on this
Yeah,
show about
mental
addiction
health.
recovery.
I'm an advocate and an activist because of my son being an adult mentally disabled person. So I'm glad you're bringing that out.
So, and I have, I don't know if you know, but I have history in my family of mental health. My sister is schizophrenic.
Oh, okay.
My brother is mentally disabled as well since 5 years old. And
Right.
both my parents had a history of nervous breakdowns and things. So I was brought up with
So you have a broad knowledge and
Right.
understanding of
You
it
have
too,
the
and that's
experience.
important.
Yes.
You
Right.
have the experience, personal, like we do, personally.
Exactly,
and that
you know.
makes a difference. And I'm glad we can join forces and share this information.
Yes, so Stronger Than Medicine is, which I'm really excited about, it will be released in 2006, this year.
This year,
I'm still confused
I
about
like
it,
that
yes.
title too, Stronger Than Medicine.
Yes, so let me tell you a little anecdote about Stronger Than Medicine. Stronger Than Medicine, the title of the book actually was from a student of ours. It was a testimonial that she gave for the system. For two reasons. One is she had a ligament tear in her shoulder. Professional, it was a professional thing. She's a dentist, and she was told by 3 surgeons to have immediate surgery. She was going to be in a sling for 8 months.
Oh my
And it was
goodness.
just about the time where we met her. And so she decided to give the system a try instead of having surgery. And it's been 2 years now. She's on the system. She never had the surgery. She has no more pain.
Wow.
And she's totally
That's
okay.
great.
But there was another thing that happened is at the same time she had suffered like a burnout, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so she ended up on medication and psychologist and psychiatrist, and she
Right.
couldn't stop the mind. You know, she was really experiencing some really hard times. And she said that she had tried everything: yoga, hypnosis, therapy, meditation, massage chairs.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Just
She was just
everything.
everything. And she said that for the first time on this system, she experienced a quiet mind, and she could finally rest and regain
And be
her
at
mental
peace.
and be at peace.
Because that's important in
Yeah.
life, when you have some peace in your life, especially when you've experienced pain. And I know what that's like because I went through it, excruciating pain at times, and I didn't know what was going on with me. But it makes a difference. And what you're talking about has a lot to do with balance. So let's talk a bit about that balance, how you get that balance. And you said stronger than medicine. I'm going to add stronger than medicine and surgery because the person ended up not having to
Having
get that
surgery.
surgery because these 3 doctors had recommended it. It's always, maybe you might need to get 5 or 6 opinions. I'm of that school right now because sometimes 3 really aren't enough.
Yeah. So, you know, of course, we can't make medical claims, but these are just personal
Of
testimonials
course.
and,
Of
you know,
course.
and personal
Because we're not
experience.
doctors.
We're
We
not
don't claim to
doctors.
be.
But it's good to look at your options before going
Yes.
under the knife, because the body does have the ability to heal itself
Yes,
if we
it
give it the
does.
opportunity.
And we shouldn't even need a disclaimer to make that claim. I mean, all of us are designed, all 7 billion people on this planet are designed to heal ourselves, but only when we give our bodies what it needs or what's necessary for life.
Yes.
You don't need a disclaimer for that. But here in America, of course, we have to make medical claims because we're not doctors and we can't heal people. But no doctor heals anyone. We heal ourselves when we give ourselves the necessary tools.
Yes.
And strength training is one of those tools, along with
So true.
keeping yourself in balance, or what's called homeostasis.
Yes.
So can you talk about that aspect, or keeping? How do we keep the balance?
The balance. That's
balance.
important.
So keeping balance is a big subject because it's, you know, everybody has their own lifestyles and whatever. But I think that a good idea is to actually listen to the body first. Okay, so we are in a society of hurrying up, you know, always business, pressure,
Constant stress. Yeah.
and so we are forgetting to actually listen to our body because we are under pressure and social pressure and,
Yeah.
and all these things. So the first thing is to actually stop, but also remember to stay open-minded, okay? Because I find that one of the first and main obstacle that people have about being healthy for themselves and finding that balance is because people close their minds to learning.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Now I realize this because being exposed to Dr. Fitness USA's program, he has a different philosophy. It's sometimes unusual for people to
Right.
hear.
Oh, of
Something
course.
different.
So,
Of course.
so I really notice it because people, you know, somebody said you don't know what you don't know,
That's right. That's
you know,
right.
and so that's the first thing, is to stay open-minded and really learning,
Right.
and especially in the fitness industry, because I don't know if you have experienced that for yourself, but in the fitness industry, everybody's their own. Everybody think they knows.
They know it all.
More than what they really know.
More than what they really know. They're their own experts, because of what they heard. Or it's not like, I'll give you an example. If you were to learn ballet or martial arts, right, you know that you need to go to a ballet class and follow a certain protocol before you could even, same for martial arts. Well, for fitness, for some reason, people don't look at it that way.
No.
They think, oh, my body responds this way or what, and what about if there was steps and things to be learned? Okay, so this is, I think, about being in balance. This is the first thing, is to stay open-minded to learn.
That's true. Very open-minded. And some people are fearful of change, and that's what holds a lot of us back.
Gotta be willing to accept change.
Fearfulness
and be willing
to
learn.
And learning, like you said, open mind.
Yes, and of course, and then once you stay open to and learning and learning from the experts, and then finding the place to actually make time for yourself, for your fitness, for your work. I mean, Dr. Fitness USA is one that writes everything, and I'm having a hard time actually following those principles, but when you write things down, then you can track it.
Yeah.
That's important, what you're saying, writing things down, because I keep pen and paper on my nightstand, because sometimes 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning I wake up. That's how I ended up getting Aim to Purpose. I woke up like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning in 2010, and it just came in my mind, aimed, the number 2, purpose. And I said, what is this? And I picked up my pen and paper, I started writing, and then it came out. The aspiration, inspiration, motivation, edification, determination. It just came to me.
Nice.
And I said, it's important to write things down, because I may have forgotten that had I not written it down.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And by the same token, about fitness, since it is the topic, okay? Writing down what is it that you do in the gym is very important too, because then you can track it.
Yeah.
That's true, huh?
Always.
There are little details sometimes that make a big difference.
Well, it always does, yeah.
Yes.
Always does.
Yes.
You want to go ahead and take a quick break, and we have about a good 12 minutes to go.
So we better take that break, and then we'll be right back.
Yes, Batista Gremaud is our special guest. Aim to Purpose, the radio show. Don't you go
And we're
nowhere.
talking about stronger than medicine, fitness, and finding balance.
Yep.
This edition of Aim to Purpose, the radio show, is brought to you by L. Hicks Consulting Services. When you want the best in business coaching, life coaching, or perhaps your organization, business, or company is in need of a dynamic speaker for an upcoming workshop or seminar, contact Louise Hicks for L. Hicks Consulting Services at 1-562-310-1495. From anywhere around the world, that's 1-562-310-1495. For more information about Louise Hicks and her consulting services, visit her website at www.louisehicks.biz. Again, that's www.louisehicks.biz. Or call 1-562-310-1495. L. Hicks Consulting Services, where professionalism is top priority.
Okay, once again, hello world. And we just came back from the commercial break. Batista, our special guest today, we're talking about Stronger Than Medicine, fitness and finding balance. And she was just sharing with us about the balance and how you find that balance in your strengthening. Now, we really want to talk a little bit about the high impact and versus the high intensity, because I was reading that in the book. And can you explain the difference between the high impact strengthening, is that it, and high intensity strengthening? Am I saying that right?
Almost.
That's why we need the experts, see?
Not quite. Okay, so there's a difference between high impact and high intensity exercise. High impact is things like running or things that actually you jump and your body actually has a lot of impact on the bones and the joints and everything. It's like CrossFit. It's pretty much what people do nowadays.
Yeah.
It's the new fad, you know, of how people think they need what they need to do to be in shape.
Yeah.
There's this mentality about if you shock the body, it's going to respond and you're going to lose weight faster. And the problem with high impact is that it is extremely hard on the body, extremely hard on the joints, the ligaments, and it is pretty much non-sustainable.
Over the long haul of your life, yeah.
Over the long haul of your life. Mm-hmm. So if you're an athlete and you're training for a specific reason and that's what you do, you know, like dancing is hard on the body too, but it's for the love of dancing, we do it, right?
Yeah.
So, but for a person that just wants to be healthy long term, high impact is not the way to go. Now, there is research done. There's about like 75% injury rate on things like CrossFit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very hard on the body. So people are under the impression that, you know, get your body in 90 days and they're going to do all this stuff. You see,
I've heard all of it.
It's the way it is. And so that's high impact.
I see.
Okay. And this is also what we pretty much see in the gyms, what personal trainers do. They get you to do like a leg press or something on a machine. Then they get you to run up and down the stairs, and then they put you on another machine, and then they get you to jump up and down a box, or, you know, like a lot of...
Oh, plyometric exercises, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very hard. Now, high intensity, really the official term of high intensity was a type of strength training that was developed by, I knew I was going to forget the name. It's actually, if you go to Wikipedia and you look high intensity, it's actually a form of strength training exercise that was developed by, I forget right now.
It's okay.
You know, it's probably in my book somewhere.
It's probably in the book. So read the book.
Yeah, read the book, Feminine Body Design. Okay, so high intensity is actually a specific way of strength training that will increase your strength by utilizing certain amount of reps and weight scales for the purpose of increasing strength.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So that is, if you do it properly, because you also have to understand that some people do strength training and they work muscle groups and they do things that might not be that appropriate for the body as well. You know, it's all a matter of knowing what we do. And this is why I swear by Dr. Fitness USA's system, because it's so intelligent, it's so good for the body. It has the ergonomics so that you can actually, check this out, and this is the truth, increase your strength 20 to 50% in 20 minutes. Have you ever heard anything like that anywhere? Have you?
No.
I haven't. I mean,
I haven't.
we see infomercials on television late at night about, you know, if you do this high intensity workout or aerobic exercise in 60 to 90 days, you'll be this person or that person. But this here, you're saying 20 to 50% stronger in 20 minutes.
Yes, and we quantify it, we film it, we have the social proof, videos to prove it. It's because of the system. Okay, now this is very important, because the system that Dr. Fitness USA has created is based on specific sequence of exercise with a specific weight scale of how to manipulate the weight scale and the reps and the ergonomics. Okay? So because we have a pad or some ergonomics ways of adjusting the body into the machines,
Right.
so they are angulated properly, and with the weight scale and the weight range and that whole system, which has been proven now for over 45, 50 years.
Okay.
Almost, right? Dr. Finn is 68, so he's been doing this for a long time.
Wait till we get Dr. Fitness on this show. I can't wait.
Yeah, exactly. But we prove it. We see a person. We can see, like, for example, I give you an example of a woman that's 60 years old that has never been in a gym before, that does not work out, that is out of shape, never worked out a day in her life. She's 5'3". Okay, we put 60 years old. We put her on a leg press, and because of that system. In a matter of 20 minutes, she'll be leg pressing 350 pounds.
Oh, my God.
Comfortably.
That's amazing.
Comfortably, with no pain. And you know what that does? That, because of the ergonomic, realign the spine.
Yeah.
And it serves kind of like a massage,
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's the weight and the way you're moving. And this is how we get to help people with their back pain, with their postural alignment.
That's amazing.
And that's the product of that. And one more thing is, because the body is grounded, it strengthens the nervous system.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to, because movement originates through your nervous system. So you have to strengthen your nervous system through strength training. It's going to build that energetic part of your anatomy. The nervous system, it controls everything.
Exactly. And yes, and this is why the program is so sustainable.
Right.
Because you see, if a person goes about it like, oh, I'm going to lose 50 pounds, I'm going to go on a diet, and I'm going to do this, but their nervous system is all over the place. It's hard to maintain a positive mindset.
Right.
You see, when you can strengthen the body, strengthen the nervous system, now you become strong from the inside out. Now you begin to make better choices in your life, not because of...
And that's so important.
Right.
And one other thing, because we're kind of getting close to that time limit, but you talk in the book about water.
Yes.
And the brain being so much water. The more water in the brain, I guess, than any other part of the body. And elaborate just a little on the water intake, because that's vital too, isn't it?
Come on.
Well, I think the body, just not only the brain, but the body is what, 65, 75%?
Yeah.
The body, you
Yeah.
know? So we... hydration is like very, very important, not because water is how the blood and the the nutrients flow in the body.
Everything flows through water.
So this is the distribution of energies in the body. So drinking.
And you have to drink the right kind of water too.
Well, obviously you're not going to be drinking tap water or,
Right.
Right. Now this is almost another topic about
water.
got
So
you.
we just wanted to
I got you.
briefly
Ionized.
express to people, because I know a
Yeah.
lot of times when you exercise, people drink water afterward. So I guess you you deplete some of the water, and then you need to kind of put more water back in your body. I
okay.
guess.
So it's good to just drink water throughout the whole day.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not about drink before, drink after. Just drink.
Just drink water,
it.
because
That's
water
it.
is important.
and drink even if you're not thirsty.
Right.
Because when you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
And water, we use water for everything. It's for our digestive juices. We need water for our lymphatic system. We need water for everything.
Yeah.
So
So
you have
water
to have it
is-
in your system at all times, including right
is
before you go to
important.
sleep. You know?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Now give us, we got a couple of more minutes, so I want you to get this in quickly. The symptom, we have some type of symptom, these habits, these 5 habits of, and you write about it in your book, how we as women, I think we don't take the time to take care of ourselves.
Oh, yeah. So these are the signs of, based on Dr. Finn's philosophy, the signs of an unhealthy woman, a woman that is actually starting to impede her immune system, trying to be perfect, trying to be strong, trying to please others, hurrying up, and not being able to receive, giving. You know, the women always think they have to give.
Right.
Actually, the signs of a healthy woman is to receive, is to look inside before looking outside.
Yes.
So this is, and if you look in the business world now, women are always giving, always hurrying up, are always, you
Right.
know, and we are estrogen-based women, so we need to process our emotions. We need to learn to get back in our bodies. We need to be centered, grounded. We need that rest. Otherwise, and this is the story back with Emmylou Harris in the beginning of
Yes.
my book. So, you know what? Going to drfitnessusa.com and get more answers and read my book too.
I wish we had more time
Yeah,
to
I
talk
wish we
about
did
that
too,
part
but,
with women and hormonal changes
We'll have you back
and whatnot.
we'll talk about it again. But we
Big
want you to
subject.
share your final thoughts and tell us how to get in touch with you.
Yeah, so my final thoughts is keep an open mind, listen, because there's a world of knowledge, and like I was open to have this information. And if you go to drfitnessusa.com, there's a lot of information. Also, I put a lot of content out. I'm always putting content. So if you go to youtube.com /drfitnessusa, we have over 110 videos right now that are tips and information or things. So that's always a good thing to refer to. Feminine body design for the lady. Even the men that have read this book have given me great feedback, because the men need to be able to support
That's right.
the women in their lives. Stay tuned for my next book about mental health and addiction recovery, Stronger Than Medicine. And you know, all those links that I'm telling you about, they are all at drfitnessusa.com. So basically, that's the only thing you have to remember is drfitnessusa.com. And that's the short version, DR. Fitness.
DR.
DR
Fitness USA.
FITNESS USA.com.
Yes.
That's where you want to go. And you want to go and buy this book,
There it
Feminine
is.
Body Design. Very powerful book and empowering book. The subtitle, Empowering Fitness for Pain-Free Life. And everybody wants that. And with that said, we want to thank you, Batista Gremaud, for coming into our show today and being our special guest and sharing all of this vital information. We're looking forward to Dr. Fitness coming in so he can give us some more information about this formula that has helped you and all the others that he's helping, some being entertainers and so forth. I mean, he's world-renowned, and we look forward to having him in the studio on January 25th, to be exact. Don't forget that date. Put it on your calendar.
That's
and
right.
with that being said, always remember, your power lies within you.
Let it loose. And with that being said, one more time, we dedicate this show to Mary Lee Brooks. May you rest for an
Mary
eternity.
Lee Brooks, Hicks, Arkansas. And may you rest in paradise, Mother. And we love you. You've taught me so much. And this show is for you. Passed away at 92.